So I've been slowly getting into F1 and I'm on the third season right now. And I kind of like lightly started to get into F1 when I know like Hamilton made like the big transition from Mercedes to Ferrari. Like I was kind of like following that in the media. And one of my favorite hoodies is actually like an orange McLaren hoodie. This hoodie, to be exact, you can see how bright it is, and I just feel like it looked really good, like against my skin. That was one of the main reasons that I got it. And it actually ended up like being a talking point when I was like in a grocery store one day. Like a girl walked up to me and she was like, "Oh, are you Team McLaren?" And we kind of like talked about it. I was like, "Girl, I don't know shit for real." But that made me decide to get into it because I've always been in like race cars and all the stuff like since I was like a young kid. So I'm watching it on Netflix right now. So that's all that I knew about F1, but I am like an overthinker and a critical thinker. And something that I'm always fascinated by are in entertainment, like the storyline that you can tell. Like in the same way you craft like a reality show storyline, like you can do the same with obviously like anything that you own production rights to. And as a critical thinker, I just think it's super fascinating, and I'm only on the third season. I don't know how my opinion is going to change, but something that I think is fascinating is that Lewis Hamilton is like made out to be like this rebel. Like every time you're introduced to Lewis Hamilton in this Netflix documentary, it's normally in a negative light. Like the very first time they bring him on, or you start to see clips of him, I want to say are like in the second season when he like got a penalty for like causing a crash. Or after that, I want to say after that, when he's introduced, it's about being like very outspoken for or COVID when COVID was going on. And now I'm watching an episode on season 3 where they're making it out to be this really, really huge thing that he almost like fast started early. I'm still like learning all this terminology, but I think to me it's less about the things that are happening. I'm like, I feel like he's the only driver on this show that not only are you introduced to in a negative light, but he doesn't really get a proper backstory, especially for such like a prominent driver. And he was prominent back then. Like the backdrop is like, oh, this is his 91st win, or he's tying these races, but the forefront is, in my opinion, always like a negative thing. But there are all these other drivers in the show where you get to see their home life, you get to see their family, you get to see when they do outside of that. I'm like, it's just interesting that they're not giving Lewis Hamilton, like even his teammate is like on the show kind of like competing against it. And they do that for like other drivers, but I don't know. This is just my raw thoughts as somebody that is still in the process. I will probably make this an F1 series just because I am becoming like really fascinated with it.